For most people, having another meeting to go to is like pulling teeth, right? Like we don't really want to do it, okay? But they're necessary evils, right? They are things that we need to have. And as a leader, you are constantly having to have meetings. A lot of times from people above us, but when the meetings are the ones that you lead, first of all, are you excited about leading those meetings? Because if you're not, then I guarantee you the people that you're with are going to have a terrible, horrible time being in that meeting if you don't even want to be there, right? So first of all, you got to be excited yourself about the meeting that you're leading, and then from there you got to do a couple of things, right? So we've all been there. Meetings that feel like a total waste of time, meetings that feel like why am I here? Okay, so I would say this, as I'm looking at the next few months of this interim youth pastoring things, we are mapping out our adult meetings and strategically planning out what we want to accomplish, what we want to do in those meetings to maximize our time, their time, and make it something that they want to be a part of. The other thing that we are really navigating right now is that we've got some volunteers that aren't comfortable coming back on site yet, but they still want to be involved in youth ministry, right? And so we've got kind of a hybrid going on with our adult leaders right now. So we're having to make sure we navigate how do we keep those adults that are a part of the youth ministry team engaged, but aren't coming back to the in-person gatherings yet. How do we keep them engaged? How do we keep them focused? How do we communicate them in this gathering to where they feel like they're still a part of it, right? And that's tough. It's not easy to be speaking to people that are in person and be speaking to people that are on Zoom, which is what we're using. And so a couple of things as you are looking at these meetings. First of all, you got to get excited about it. Okay. First of all, you have to get excited about these meetings. So get yourself pumped up, get excited. And I think a lot of times we aren't excited about it because we don't really know where we're going with it. We don't really know why we're having this meeting other than we feel like we have to have a meeting. If you feel like you have to have a meeting, cancel the meeting because you probably don't need to have the meeting. Okay. So if you are excited about it, okay, so first of all, what I'd say is really look at why are you having these meetings? Why do you feel like you have to have these meetings? One, I think some people just feel like, well, it's what other people are doing. That's not a good reason to have these meetings. Okay. So for us, we like to have those every single month. Okay. So every single month, having a leaders meeting where we're diving in, talking about things. And pretty much most of our leadership meetings are going to run very much the same every single time. Okay. So I typically do them right after church. Okay. I know some people like to do them middle afternoon. And that's great. If that works for you guys, go for it. Some people like to have these quarterly. That's great. Whatever works, whatever flow works for you. There were seasons in our lives where we had them every other week, and I'd alternate them. So I'd have students one week and then all the adults the next week. But right now in this season, we're combining students and adults once a month. Okay. And we invite everybody there. And there are a couple of things that we do every single time. One, you got to have food, right? Okay, come on. Right. Meetings are going to be much better with food. The other thing that you can communicate and have available is child care. Okay, so these are some hard costs that you're going to have to look at, right? So these are hard costs that you're going to have to come up with in your budget or see if you can get them donated, things like that. But child care, right? A lot of your adult volunteers, if you want them to be involved in these meetings, are going to need to have their children watched, even if they have older students like junior hires. It's not just like nursery or that age, all the way up. Because if you got a junior hire, what are you going to do with them while they're in the meeting, right? So something for their kids to be involved with and doing while they're in this meeting is really important, that you help facilitate that and they're not just on their own. Okay. Again, if you're having them at your house, can you have somebody come and watch the kids at your house while the leaders and the adults are in that meeting? Okay. Answer that question. Childcare. What will you provide for them? Food. If it's kind of the middle of the day, provide snacks, some drinks, things like that. Make it light. And also what that does is allows there to be some time as people are coming in, after service, that it takes a little while for people to get settled, get their kids checked in for child care, whatever it might be, and get there during that food time. Allow people to just go and get it as they're coming in. I'd encourage you guys just to allow that food to be going. And as people are coming, they just go straight into food, get it going. Now, for us, I think another big reason why people don't like coming to meetings is they walk away saying, what was that about? It feels like it took 2 hours for you to deliver an email. Okay. So for us, I always want our leaders to walk away feeling like I'm a better person. I'm a better husband. I'm a better wife. I'm a better parent. I'm a better boss because of that meeting. And you're saying, wait, what? This is like a student ministries meeting. This is a kids ministry. Yes, but they won't come if you're not adding value to them. Okay. If you're not adding value to them, and you're just conveying information that you could have given over an email, this is a wasted meeting. So we always do a leadership training moment. So there's always going to be some type of leadership investment. And it doesn't have to be a 45-minute sermon, guys. This can be a 5-minute, this can be a 10-minute teaching moment where you are intentionally investing in those leaders. There's times where I'll bring in business leaders to do that teaching time. 10 minutes, right? Hey, get someone from Chick-fil-A to come in and talk about customer service, right? Get someone from Nordstrom to come in and talk about customer service. Get a local businessman to come in and talk about, whatever that might be, but talking about how you can take that customer service or that business principle or whatever that might be and apply it into the context of your ministry. Do a teaching yourself. Ask one of your volunteers to do a teaching moment. But impacting, adding value to their life is greatly going to impact them wanting to be there. Okay. And then I always have a time of celebration. So what are you guys seeing in your small groups? What are you seeing, before service, during service, after service? What are some things? What are some things that you've been praying about, right? Like, if you have altars, hey, talk about an altar moment that just was powerful, and let's celebrate that. This is one of those positive peer pressure moments where all of a sudden everyone's talking about these great moments that they are having, and other people might be sitting there saying, man, I don't really have one of those. Maybe I should get connected with a student more. Maybe I should dive into my small group a little bit more. And so this is a little bit of positive peer pressure, a little bit of incentive to keep everyone going. Plus, what you focus on, you find. So if we can intentionally get people focused on the positive moments. So, hey, guys, every month we're going to talk about celebration moments. So all month long, hopefully, they're looking for positive things that they're a part of, that they're seeing, that they're hearing, as opposed to these meetings turning into complaint fest where it's like, oh, man, this isn't going well, that didn't go well. And, of course, you got to address some of those. But let's focus it on investing them on a leader. Let's focus it on them celebrating and championing those moments. And really what I'll do is I often like to go and preload some of those to talk to people. Hey, when you share, could you talk about somebody else and not just yours, what you saw in somebody else do, what you saw another group do, what you saw another student do. This is adult leaders talking about students and students talking about adult leaders. And this is celebrating the things going on in the ministry that are going really well. Okay. And then for us, I always go through at least 1 month of the next schedule. So what are we teaching on? What are we focusing in on? Anything that they need to know. So for example, like for us, we've got a couple big outreach events coming up in the next couple weeks. We've got a car smash coming up, and then we've got a paint wars coming up, right? So we've got these 2 big events that are going to require extra energy out of them. So, for example, last night we did a dunk contest. We had a basketball hoop, trampoline, the whole deal. We did a dunk contest. We wanted everybody wearing jerseys. We wanted everybody wearing their team colors, all kinds of stuff. So we talked to our leaders about that before. So in our meeting this Sunday, we're talking about all of next month. So we've got those 2 big outreach nights. Car Smash, and Paint Wars. Okay, so what do we want them to do? How do we want them to come prepared? So, for example, Paint Wars, look, you're going to get messy. You're going to get dirty. Don't wear clothes that you don't want getting thrashed, right? So be prepared for that. We talk about the Paint War, or sorry, the Car Smash. Look, this is what we want to do. There's going to be a lot of attention on one or two students at a time, but we've got lots of other students standing around watching. This is a great opportunity for you to do X, Y, and Z, whatever it is that we're talking about. And we'll preload them with some helpful tips there, right? Have people talk about last year, because we've got leaders that weren't there last year. So we'll have people share what it was like and what they did, helpful tips of what they did, how they made their groups a little bit more engaged during that time, right? So again, all of that going through at least a month, and then I'm highlighting what I call important events at the very bottom. So it's important dates. So these are dates way out ahead of time, way out. Christmas parties, summer camp, fall festivals. So those are just highlighted. As they get closer, they get brought up into that 1 month or 2 month review. But this is talking about 6, 7, 8, 9 months ahead of time. Here are some important events that are way out there. Plus, all the leaders meetings, when they are already mapped out on that page. So again, you're doing some food. Come on, got to get some food. Got to do some leadership investment. Got to do some celebration. You got to do some of the nuts and bolts of calendaring. And when we talk about any updates, anything points of concern that I should know about, anything that you're hearing that I need to know about, I want to know about that as well. So again, all of those things are happening quick. Boom, 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 boom. You're flying through those quickly. And so you're not lingering. You're moving it fast. We want to honor your time. We want to get this done in an hour and 10 minutes, maybe, right? Okay, if you can do an entire church service in that length of time, you should be able to do a leaders meeting in that time, okay? Now, if you're adding in hangout time, all that kind of stuff, that's great at the end. But for me, I want to hit it 45 minutes, an hour and 10 at the most. And then again, if you got to go, hey, head on out. If you want to hang out and chill for a little bit, that's awesome too, right? So structure your leadership meetings in a way that it's not just an email in person. Nobody wants to be at those meetings. I want to walk out of there feeling better. I want to walk out of there feeling celebrated. I want to walk out of there informed and prepared for what's going on. Obviously, pray for your student ministries, pray for your kids' ministries, pray for your volunteers, pray for whatever it is that you're leading and you're going into. Invite God into those moments as well as praying for each other. Are there any needs that you can pray for in that meeting? Look, you want your kids ministry, you want your student ministries, adult ministries to feel like a family and a group. It starts with that group right there. Those volunteers, if they don't feel it, they can't repeat it, right? So get them connecting in prayer with each other, encouraging each other, celebrating with each other. Hey, so-and-so just had a kid. Let's celebrate that. Hey, so-and-so just bought a house. Let's celebrate that. Hey, so-and-so just got a promotion, right? In those celebration moments, get after it, okay? Do some tangible things. Some of the times in my leaders meetings, we'll do very tangible events. So sometimes I've packed them up in vans and say, look, we're going somewhere. We head out to a shooting range and we talk about our goals for the year, right? We're shooting, or I'll set up a shooting range and not use actual guns. In my case, use like BB guns or whatever, right? But and then again, we talk about goals and how to hit it, right? Measurables and what we're going after this year, or bring in a student testimony through video or in person, talking about how some of the leaders changed their lives. Okay, do some practical things. Try and keep it creative. It's the same, but different each time. All right, guys, get after it, but invest in your adult leaders, your volunteers. And I'm telling you, this will be a game changer for you. All right, let's get after it.